If you're feeling stuck as a singer, either you've been practicing like hell and you just don't seem to be getting any better no matter what you do, or maybe you found a really great solution or technique, a solution for your problems, but it doesn't really seem to be working in your voice for some reason. It's okay, we're gonna fix it. Because there's 4 places that singers get stuck, and if you're not moving forward as a singer, you're likely sitting in one of them right now. Now let's address the elephant in the room. We've all got different voices, right? We've all got different acoustic spaces, we've all got a different tone, we've got different culture, disposition, background, personality. You might think and feel differently about your voice or think and feel differently about singing to someone else. And all that stuff does matter. But here's the thing, most of the time, singers aren't struggling because of their voice. They struggle because they're stuck in one part of the process and they don't know how to move forward. Now, I started noticing this over a decade ago teaching singing. The same piece of advice given to 2 singers that were struggling with the same thing, the same problem, the same note they were struggling to hit, right? The same piece of advice would get 2 completely different results. Same muscle, same mechanism in the voice, but 2 completely different results. And what I realized is there's actually 4 different stages of vocal development and 4 places that you can get stuck inside each of those stages. And if you can identify which one of these stages that you're stuck in, there's a very specific but very easy way to move forward. Now, the first way that singers get stuck is awareness. You're aware of the problem. I push high notes, or I can't sing the F4 or the E4, right? My voice breaks and flips when I try and sing this song. Or maybe you're looking at it from a slightly different perspective. You're solution aware, right? Everyone's talking about mixed voice. I need this mixed voice thing, or I need this support thing that people are talking about. But here's the thing about awareness. It really doesn't change the way you sing. Knowing something, hearing something, reading about something doesn't change the way you actually sing. It doesn't change how your voice works on a fundamental level. So what happens to a singer that's stuck in the awareness stage? They go deeper. More information, more education, more awareness, more concepts, more videos, but no actual progress. It's okay though, we're gonna fix it. Now the second way that singers get stuck is actually practice. Practice makes perfect, right? You're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the work. But it kind of seems like no matter how many exercises you do, how many hours you spend practicing, you're not actually getting any closer to your goals. You're not actually getting any better as a singer when you sing real songs. So naturally, you think, I need more practice. I'm not getting any better. I'm not getting closer to my goals. I need more practice. I need more exercises, more drills. I need to spend more time. And you get stuck on an infinite loop of exercises and practice. You practice an hour a day, but when you get up the next day and you go and practice again, it's almost like you didn't practice yesterday. Nothing's changed. You're stuck back at square one. Now, the third way that singers get stuck is expression. Now you've started experimenting. Funny sounds, funny exercises. And all of a sudden, something works. You hit higher notes and things feel easier. But when you take this across to real songs, you're stuck right back at square one again. It doesn't translate into real singing. You can't sing an Elton John song with a baby monkey voice, right? So you bounce between this works, this doesn't work. This works, this doesn't work. And you get stuck in the expression stage. Now, the fourth place that you might be getting stuck is execution. You just sing songs. You just go for it. You sing what you're capable of singing. This was me. I didn't really intend on becoming a singer. I was a guitarist. The singer didn't turn up for rehearsal. The singer didn't turn up for a second or third rehearsal, so I just started filling in the gaps, right? The songs I knew the lyrics for, I'd just go for it. And it was awful. I really felt like I just didn't have what it takes to become a better singer. Like, great singers are born that way, and I just wasn't one of them. Now, here's the important part. These aren't personalities. You're not one of these stages. You're stuck not knowing how to move forward to the next stage. Because these 4 steps, awareness, practice, expression, and execution, they're not separate. They're a cycle. Awareness, practice, expression, execution, right back to awareness again. And if you skip just one of these steps, you'll stall. Now you might be thinking, that's all good and well, and that's fascinating, but how the hell do I use this to become a better singer? Now let me show you the number one mistake that gets most singers stuck. Let's say you're struggling with high notes, right? Whether it's you want to learn your favorite song, or maybe it's a song you've written. You can get through some of the notes in a verse, but then the chorus, your voice cracks and breaks, right? You're trying to sing this. I put a spell on you because and your voice breaks, right? Instead of being able to sing it in full voice like you intend. Because you're mine, you better stop the thing that you're doing. I said, watch out, I ain't lying. Hey! Right? And your voice is, hey! Your voice is breaking there, right? So now you're problem aware. Okay, my voice broke at E4, G4, A4 there. This can be a problematic range for a lot of guys in particular. Okay, I'm aware that I have a problem here. So you start looking for solutions. Okay, how can I hit a G4? And you come across some techniques that you're trying out, right? One of them's a cry. Okay, apparently there's more than one pitching mechanism in the voice, right? We need to tension to pitch instead of pushing up. Okay, so I just need to add a cry to the sound and I'll be able to sing exactly like John Fogerty, right? We take it, we put that cry in the song. I put a spell on you. Ooh, so far so good, right? Because, and it sounds awful. Doesn't solve the problem, and in fact, that made it even more tense, and now my voice is sore. I guess this isn't the solution that I'm looking for. So then we start looking for more validation that it's a cry, and you watch 20 videos about cry. None of them changes how you're actually singing. Or you start to think, okay, maybe this is not the solution that I've been looking for. So then you jump onto the next thing. And you're just squarely stuck in the awareness stage. Nothing's changing. And that's because you've gone backwards. You've gone straight from awareness to execution. And you've expected something to change in your voice. Now, our next step after awareness is practice. Actively practicing this and kind of feeling it out in some exercises. A really great way, just for my example here, of practicing this cry is to add that really kind of sad yodely thing into it, right in the center of an arpeggio. I like to call this the vocal slingshot. Hey, hey. Hang on, I am capable of hitting those notes, and I kind of practice it, kind of get it happening. Now, the mistake that most people make that gets them stuck here is they again jump straight to the song. And they're like, okay, because, and their voice craps out. Okay, and then they get stuck in the practice stage. Okay, I need more validation that this thing I'm practicing is going to give me the solution I'm looking for. So you look for more exercises. You look for more mixed voice exercises or more cry exercise, and you stay squarely stuck in the practice stage forever. Now, our next step after practice, if you want to avoid getting stuck here, it's actually expression. And why is it expression? Your voice is involuntary. You're not physically in control of most of the mechanisms within your voice. They're a reflex. They respond to your intentions, your tone, your feeling. Your voice is a tool of expression. It expresses externally what's going on internally. So when I'm going through that exercise there, and again, the cry was just an example. You can do this with any exercise. We want to pay attention to how it feels, how it sounds, what the tone is, and really how it feels within my body when I get this right in practice, right? So if I go for my little vocal slingshot exercise here, right? Hey, hey. When I hit that note effortlessly up the top, I really feel it underneath my larynx. Hey! There is a slight cry inflection in there, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Feels like my resonance is internal. I'm pretty relaxed in the midsection. The diaphragm's not, I'm not chunking up and kind of cramming my voice up into my throat here. I'm just letting it sail out with that downwards feeling and that stretch in there. Now, people get stuck in the expression stage here because they think it's all about, just in my example here, they think it's all about the cry. They think they have to put a spell. They have to put that into the song. It's not about that. What we need to take from our new awareness, okay, a cry is going to help me hit those high notes. The way we've practiced it with our little vocal slingshot there, a little split arpeggio with the cry in it, and then how it felt. The next stage after the expression stage of working out how it feels, how it rings internally, what's going on, the downwards feeling, the slightly sad tone, I need to put that into the song. I don't need to put the cry into the song. I don't need to, whinge and cry through the song. I just need to take that slightly sad expression and that downwards feeling. I put a spell on you because you're mine. You better stop the thing that you're doing. I said, watch out, I ain't lying. Hey! Right? And then I'm hitting those notes with expression. I'm not really taking the same thing I practiced. I'm not really taking my awareness of the cry. I've done a full cycle here, and I've come back to the song. And I'm singing it better than I was singing it, a minute ago. Now, here's the thing. Most people stop here. They get stuck in the execution, right? They get stuck singing songs. Cool. Well, I practiced cry. I've done my exercises. Yeah, I know how it feels. I'm just going to sing tons of songs now. And they hit a real plateau here because, I mean, you've already done it. You've already learned it. You've already practiced it. I mean, where do you go from here? Do we just go back to the practice stage and practice it more? Well, no, we're going to get stuck there. Do I play around with funny sounds? Well, I'm going to get stuck there. Do I need to learn more about the cry? Do I need to learn about, nerve innervation? Well, no. We've done a full revolution of this cycle. Awareness, practice, expression, execution, and then we actually come right back to awareness. Because once I've been through this full process, I've learned something, I've practiced it, I've worked out how it feels in my body, and I've applied that feeling and that reflex into a real song, there's other things that go on. We're not done here. We come right back to awareness. Maybe one of those words was more challenging than the other words. Okay, why would one word be harder than another word at the same pitch? I guess I might look at vowels. Then you might start practicing your vowels. You might start doing that exercise on a different vowel or with a different sound. And you're going to go through that full process again. And then when you get back to singing the song, it brings you right back to awareness. And what we end up doing is we spiral towards our goals. It is inevitable that you are going to nail your goals as a singer if you follow this process. The reason why singers get stuck, it isn't because of their voice or because of a 1 in a million genetic abnormality, and it's not about a lack of talent or everyone else being gifted. It's about getting stuck on this spiral or skipping steps. Once you become aware of something, whether it's the problem or it's the solution, you need to practice it. And once you've practiced it, you need to work out how that feels and how that makes your body react. The voice is a tool of expression. It's largely a reflex and involuntary, right? Then we need to put those reflexes and that feeling and that expression into the song. And then we need to become aware of, okay, what worked? What didn't work? What's our new level of awareness here? And this is how we take a step forward every single time we practice, every single day that we sing. Now, getting stranded at any point on this cycle, whether it's awareness, maybe you're practicing like crazy but not getting any better, maybe you're experimenting with a lot of sounds and feelings in your voice, it's not translating into real songs. Maybe you're like me and you just started singing for a band without, going through the rest of the stages here. I like to call this a vocal progress killer. So to help you identify exactly which vocal progress killer is yours, identify exactly where on this progress spiral, this vocal progress spiral, you are stuck as a singer, I've created a free progress killer cheat sheet, which you can download right now by hitting this button, and it will help you identify the physical, acoustic, or psychological phenomenon that is holding you back from moving to the next stage in your progress as a singer. I'm Keegan from Foundation Vocal Method. We're definitely going to talk soon.